How do? I've taken a silly list for Tau built around a Tau supremacy suit to a tournament and came third. And now I'm using the same secret sauce to try and win with the Tyranids by building around a HARRIDAN or a Hierophant. Neither are the silly 1000 point cost like a Tau, but they're both very expensive. The HARRIDAN is 700 points for 34 wounds, and while being super mobile and actually got good melee and shooting, he's only got a 3+ save with no invuln. The Hierophant, on the other hand, is 850 points for 34 wounds and has very similar stats but a bit more shooting and melee. But the two key differences about taking this one is it has a 2+ armor save, 5+ invuln, and how big the base is. It's actually possible that this dude won't be able to even walk around the board and get into melee anyway, so I'm not sure about taking this one. Either way, I'll have just over 1000 points to build my NID list, so let's have a look at what will inform my choice. A few things to note: Tyranids aren't in a great place in the meta at the moment, with rules and points changes, so most matchups are likely to be a trouble. I like a melee monster mash build, but let's be honest, the melee output from some monsters against things like Space Marines just won't do enough, and likely to die in the return hit, or when the opponent falls back, gets shot off the table. With the points increases, you don't get much on the table for just over 1000 points. Also, secondaries are much more difficult, with only 1000 points in play. I am actually likely to take the HARRIDAN just because of its mobility. Mobility causes problems in 9th. So I'll have to plan around getting an invuln or a feel no pain on it, otherwise it just won't last long enough. I also love the big scary FORGEWORLD monsters, even though they aren't that efficient. At least the Diamacron has a 5+ invuln and potentially to get itself a feel no pain, but the Hierodual doesn't have an invuln. Basically I need Dermot Symbiosis multiple times and I only have it once. With clever positioning, Synaptic Imperatives can help. A Zoanthrope can give a 4+ invuln, a Neurophobe a 5+ feel no pain. Hive Nexus Psychic Power from Leviathan can give out a Synaptic Imperative to a unit in addition. And the Old Faithful Catalyst. A little mention for the fact you can get Transhuman on monsters for just 1 CP, Indomitable Monstrosity. Let's have a look at some of the obvious units I should be considering in my list. The Foot Hive Tyrant. 210 points for this build. Got Adrenal Glands with a pretty good 10-inch move. The main thing about having this guy is T8, 2+ save and a 4+ invuln. The Bone Sword's good for melee, and of course it's taking the Relic Shard Gullet for shooting. It's an evil Venom Cannon replacement with Strength 12, -5 AP and 5 damage. He gives reroll 1s to core, he has psychic powers, and is a perfect platform to be a warlord. I think I will go for this one over a winged one, even though I love the winged ones, just because it's cheaper, tougher, better save, so actually more durable with less of a massive target plastered on its back. The Lictor at 70 points, just great for scoring points. If it kills a character, then that's great points in secondaries, keeping cover to avoid any range over 12 inches away. Got surprisingly good melee and reroll charges when coming in from reinforcements. The TYRANNOFEX, now the centrepiece of the army, literally as you can stick this big monster in the centre. The 205 points for this build, it's got the Acid Spray with Dermot Symbiosis, that'll do nicely. 17 wounds, T8, 2+ save, 4+ invuln, and you even give it Catalyst while it's holding the centre, and the Acid Spray is a fantastic Overwatch weapon, so nice deterrent to charges. It can be taken out, will present a big problem in the centre of the board for the opponent. Screamer Killer's one of the big winners of 9th. 140 points with Adrenal Glands. It's a great unit to cause trouble for your opponent. Give them Spore Cyst for 15 points so they get a 1-up save, and with -1 damage they'll tank. It redefines the definition of distraction Carnifex and they're great. I just love that they've got 11 attacks on the charge. The Maleceptor and/or 3 Zoanthropes. This is where you go heavy on the mortal wound output. It's actually got a really reliable output, and it's a good option for psychic secondaries. They're both Synapse units with Synaptic Imperatives. The Zoanthrope gives out that 4+ invuln for monsters, and the Maleceptor can do actions while still shooting, fall back in advance, and do other psychic powers. And while nerfed, they're going to be sticking out a lot of mortal wounds per turn. And a little honourable mention for the Pyrovores. You can take them in singles for only 40 points, and while they're slow, they've got great flamers. And having good flamers will always cause problems. And a quick look at the secondaries I've got options with. The 3 Tyranid specific ones, you've got Cranial Feasting, kill characters, and even get command points for doing so in melee. This one sounds good. Synaptic Insight, kill things with Synapse models. It's actually got harder now, and it's maxed out at 12 points. People weren't taking this anyway, and are likely to still not take it. Spore Nodes, do actions with troops within 6 inches of your opponent's deployment zone. It completes at the end of your turn, so at least that's 4 VP a time. But Tyranid troops are pretty squishy, so this isn't really that good to be honest. Psychic Interrogation has got worse, so not a great one. Behind enemy lines is worthwhile, the Lictor helps here. Grind them down would be good with the monsters build, as you won't have that many units. And just generally any objective that involves killing things. The next thing to consider is which Hive fleet to use it in, and I recommend you check out this video next, and I hope it helps you pick. See you again soon, bye!